We've heard today from John's Gospel a passage about Jesus sending his disciples another advocate, who will be with them forever. This passage follows straight on from the one we looked at last week. These are part of what we call the farewell discourses. Jesus is preparing his disciples for the fact that he will be taken away from them and crucified. How will they manage without him? What will it be like? What will they do? Perhaps at the moment, as we're having to adjust to life without all sorts of things that we took for granted, we could empathise with how they might have been feeling. In the church, we read these passages now because we're getting ready to think about the ascension, when the resurrected Jesus returns to heaven, to be seen no more on earth in his bodily form. What is it like to be followers of Jesus when you can't physically follow him like the disciples did? What does it mean to say that God is with us? What are we actually supposed to do? Jesus' promise in this passage of another advocate, the Spirit, is at one level the answer to that question. At another level, it gives us a whole load of new questions to ask. Something is coming. At the moment, when we're surrounded by questions about if and when and how lockdown might end or change, we can perhaps recognise that uncertainty. What will happen? What will it be like? What should we do? We can go on to perhaps stronger questions. Will it be a good thing? What can we trust? The disciples probably had a mix of emotions, but I think fear and anxiety would have been near the top of the list. What are they to do? If you love me, keep my commandments. They who have my commandments and keep them are those who love me. The time is coming when the disciples will need to step up, when they need to put into action what they've learned, when their actions will need to speak as loudly, if not more loudly, than their words. What commandments might these be? Only shortly before, Jesus has given his disciples the new commandment, that they must love each other as he has loved them. Although they're not recorded in John's Gospel, we might also think of the two great commandments that Jesus identifies in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Love God with all your heart and mind and strength, and love your neighbour as yourself. It is deeply and profoundly true that the identifying characteristic and nature of God is love. Out of love, God created the world and all that is in it. Out of love, God came to us in Jesus Christ. John famously says that in chapter 3, verse 16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son." Out of love, God is with us by the Spirit. And therefore the defining mark of the Christian life of discipleship is that it is formed by that love. In loving Jesus, we love one another. In loving one another, we love God. In loving God, we have love for ourselves. Having love for ourselves, we can love our neighbour. There's nothing particularly special about the order I said those things in. The point is that love for God, love for neighbour, and love for self are all interrelated and interconnected. As we wonder what the next days and weeks will hold, and as we try our best to keep going, we can know that God's love will always surround us. As we seek to live by it and make it the pattern of our lives, we embody Jesus though we cannot see him. Through Jesus' promise, God stays with us and lives in us. Amen.